Let's talk about leaping from operator's position to a foreman's position. Okay, so you've probably run a machine for a long time and you want to take the next step. I kind of want to explain some things and kind of share my story and give some advice and just kind of explain some things about the whole process and kind of what I went through, challenges and whatnot. In my opinion, a lot of people that are foremans actually shouldn't be foremans. There's a lot of bad foremans out there, um, in my opinion. A lot are unorganized and, well, they're dicks. They don't have to be. They're not people person. They have messy handwriting for their paperwork. They don't know how to deal with the office properly. Um, and for the most part, they don't know what they're doing. And if they do know what they're doing, they don't care. They're not on site half the time. They don't look after the stuff they're supposed to. There are a lot of things that go into being a foreman, and not only just a foreman as the position, but being a good foreman, good, well-rounded foreman that's balanced in kind of every area. So I find with myself, you have to be a good leader. You have to be able to lead people and have people respect you and listen to you. You're going to have a lot of people that count on you and look up to you, and you have to guide them. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to be confident about it. Being a foreman, you have to be able to see the big picture of things. Why the office does certain things. Why is it being built this way? There's a huge job process or construction process that you have to understand. There is an order to do things. If you do things wrong, it's going to mess you up for the next step. And it could be a disaster. Planning, you have to be a good planner. You got to have your plans in order. You have to go through your plans at night. You have to know them inside and out. You have to keep track of what's going on site and keep track of employees, hours, machines, breakdowns. There's a whack load of stuff. Production. There's a lot. It's a big step. Like, it's no joke. It's not easy to make this leap. You have to be confident and very sure that you can handle this. It's a very stressful, intense time doing this leap. A lot of people can't actually do it. That's why you see a lot of people go and be foremen, but they're not foremen very long. It's not very hard for the operators or the office to know if this guy's a good foreman or not. So if he was given the chance to be one, and he's not anymore, chances are he never made the cut or he couldn't handle it. It comes with a huge responsibility. You have employees, you have machines, you have high costs of fuel and repairs. Now, if you're moving dirt inefficiently or whatever, you do it in the wrong process and you mess something up or you forget something, there's a lot of money at stake here. It costs a lot of money to run, big machines and stuff per day. If you mess up a day, it could cost 20 grand that day. That's a big responsibility, and that falls back on you. If an operator rolls a buggy, that's on you. If someone breaks a boom off a hoe, that's on you. You have to explain to the mechanic boss what happened. If you lose a force counter invoice and the office phones you, that is on you. You're responsible for a lot of things. Now, if people are not working safe, someone gets hurt, that's on you. It's your job to take care of them, make sure everyone's doing it safe. You have a lot of responsibility. Being a young foreman, it's a hard thing. It's something I've dealt with my entire life. I've always been one of the youngest guys. But that hasn't held me back. I haven't let it hold me back. I'm one to take the bull by the horns and just do it. I don't care what people think. I don't over analyze stuff. I just now, being a young foreman, you have to earn respect. There's a certain level of respect you get when you get the position, but it's not very much. The rest is kind of up to you. How you handle the guys, how you plan stuff, how you move dirt, how the job progresses, and everything. The office and operators will see that. They will see that you're a leader and you know what you're doing, and you're a problem solver, and you're a good foreman. It's not for everybody. Not everyone can lead a bunch of machines. Not a lot of people can have a big safety meeting and direct a bunch of people, 20, 30, 40. You have to stand up and lead the meeting, and you have to plan what you're going to say in the meeting, and you have to speak in front of all of these people. They're all staring at you. That's one fear that I've had to overcome, and I've came a long way with it, is speaking in front of people. Not everybody can do that, and it's necessary in that position. You have to direct people, and when you direct them, you have to be confident. You have to be a type of babysitter. We're all adults, but some adults just don't get it, and at times it seems like you're a babysitter. You have to be a good problem solver, so something happens and you have to think real quick what to do, or how do I fix this. You might not have no one around to ask. Your boss might not be around or whatever. So you need to solve a lot of problems, and there is a lot. There's a lot of stuff to know. It helps if you know survey, a little about mechanics, when machines break down, won't start. It's kind of up to you. And then you have to phone the mechanic and tell him exactly what's going wrong. You don't want to sound like an idiot. You need to know how to run the machines. You need to know how to fill out paperwork. You need to know how to talk to the office people. The people in the office are a lot different than the operators in the field. It's a whole different world in there. That's kind of one place where I shine. I don't mind going to the office. There's office people, and there's estimators and project managers and superintendents and owners, and the list goes on and on. Those people do not intimidate me. I'm quite confident, and I can have a conversation with them, and I know what I'm talking about. I've estimated jobs, pre-bid meetings. I've attended a bunch of those. So the office part, I don't really mind. I can build spreadsheets. I'm good on a computer. I can do all that kind of stuff. So a lot of foremen don't like to go to the office because it's a whole different world than the field, but it's something I don't mind. My story on becoming a foreman, I don't even really remember anymore, but I don't think I was really, I don't think I even thought about it really. I was asked and I said sure, and then I was thrown out the wolves and I had to learn on the fly. There's some stuff I didn't know. I knew a bunch of things, but I didn't know everything. I didn't know all what it involved, and it's been a long learning curve for me. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to be the best I can. One thing that helps me be a good foreman is I haven't forgot what it's like to be an operator. For me, the easiest part is actually moving dirt and getting stuff done. The hardest thing I find is dealing with employees and operators. You have to find a type of balance. You can't be too nice or they'll walk all over you, and you can't be a dick. One big thing you have to do with employees, which are operators, You have to be a type of counselor. You'll have people crying in your truck. They have life problems. They're sick. They phone in. They phone in sick. They're late. There's a bunch of excuses. You have to deal with that kind of stuff. One of the biggest, I guess, struggle that I've had is when it comes time to fire somebody. Uh, you know, I've had to do lots of that. I don't like it. It's necessary. Sometimes it has to be done. For example, this one time I felt really bad. This guy was running a 57. He was new. He had some training. Going down a big hill though, and yeah, he cooked the engine in house. That cost about $100,000 to rebuild. So I had to let him go. He was from the East Coast. He didn't have a place to live, and he just lost his job. He explained all this to me, but you know, I had to let him go. I don't know where he went on from that, but stuff like that is hard. I'm not like that. I care about people, so I don't want to be like that, but it comes with the position, and it's hard to do. It is. Production. Your boss, which will be superintendent that you have to work with, the guy who drives on site, and he hasn't seen everything. He just sees one thing and then flips out, and he doesn't know the backstory of why it's being done like that. Yeah, that guy. So you have to deal with him, and he has these giant production goals given to him, but it's up to you to try to meet those. So you have to do a lot of planning and forward thinking to be able to achieve those goals. Cycle times, and you need to make sure that you have every machine running, and you need to talk to mechanics to make sure you get these machines up and running. It's very important. You can't have machines running, you won't meet the deadlines, and you have a certain amount of dirt to move per day. There's a lot that goes into production, and when someone phones in sick, for example, a hoe operator, where you have, I don't know, let's say 6 rock trucks. Okay, so now what? It's not easy. It's all about balance and experience and knowledge and problem solving. It's actually quite a hard position, and I think we're all underpaid for the amount of stress and responsibility that we do have. As a foreman, it's very important to know a little bit about everything. It's nice to focus on one thing, but as a foreman, you have to know so much about everything. The best advice I can give is make friends with your dirt tester. This will make your life so much easier. Don't fight and battle the dirt tester. He can stop your job. That makes a whole bunch of trouble for everybody, and you're the one who has to deal with it. So I suggest that you make friends and build trust with him. Show him that you're not trying to take shortcuts, and build a relationship where he has trust in you. He doesn't have to be there all the time. It will speed up the whole job process. You'll look good. You won't be delayed due to him just being a dick because he can. It does a lot of things. So I think that is the biggest piece of advice that I can give is, make friends with the guy who has so much control over your production.